Welcome back to Ashton's Got Books. This is my November to be read TBR. Try to be spoiler free and talk about how excited I am for these books, what I plan to read, and yeah, let's get into it. First, I am actually currently reading this in October, but I did not mean to, so it doesn't count. This is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. So far, what I know about it is it follows a woman who has a bunch of deaths happen in the same night, and she's the only one left. And supposedly she's innocent. They could not convict her. She grows old and has to get a caretaker who also has a mysterious death or tragedy that happened around her. I'm about 60 pages in of like 400-ish. It claims to be a gothic horror, but I think it's supposed to be more of a thriller. And excited level out of 5, about 4.5 out of 5. I've heard really good things about this book. Next is the infamous Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I didn't buy the full set just in case I don't like the first book at all, but I probably will. It'll be one of my first fantasy books, or I think it will be my first full fantasy book. Bookmark fell out. Says his wife is taken, there's people enslaved. By a longing for justice and memory of his lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies. So I really have absolutely no idea what this is about, and I hope it's good because I know it is supposed to be a really good trilogy, and he might be doing a fourth. I don't know if I heard wrong. Excited level 5 out of 10 because I heard this is supposed to be really good. Next up is another fantasy book, Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. I do not know much about this book either. I've seen it recommended for like every video that says what to read for guys getting into reading, and it's a billion fantasy books. This is always a top one. I kind of read the back, and there's a character who's trying to be the first woman ever admitted to the high magistracy at the Magic University, and she passes her exam and she becomes a janitor. But then her and her peers find out her boss actually used to be some sort of high nomadic hunter magician guy, and he actually wants to go back to his homeland and save them from their privileged power. But yeah, excited level 4 out of 5 because I don't really know much about it. I've only heard good things about it, but I can't remember what that was. Next up is the award-winning Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And it follows Achilles, who meets this guy, and they have a bond, become good friends, I guess, and they meet by chance. And then one of their heroes or whatever goes missing, and they have to go destroy Troy or siege Troy. And Achilles faces some decisions, and he is brought between love and fear for his friend, it says. Yeah, I'm excited for this book. I've seen it every time I go to Barnes & Noble and decided to pick it up, and I looked at the reviews, and it has insanely good reviews. Unfortunately, I also don't really know much of what it's about, but that's why I'm going to read it and then review it at the end of the month. Excited, 3.75 ish. It seems like a more girly book, I guess, but it's supposed to be really good, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Next up is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. I think this one, it's in the fiction section, but I could have sworn this is supposed to be a fantasy. It is about Piranesi, who is stuck in an infinite house with infinite rooms, and he is visited by a man called the Other twice a week. And this man always asks for his help to unlock, what does the back say? A man called the Other, help with research into a great and secret knowledge. But as Piranesi is discovering this infinite house, he finds evidence of another person other than the Other, revealing a world beyond the world Piranesi has come to know. This book seems like a great book to get into fantasy, so I probably should read it first, but I don't plan to. It's only about 250 pages, so it's a fairly not too long, semi-short book. And I am pretty excited about this one. It's won, what's that say? Women's Prize for Fiction, 2021 winner. So it is a fiction book. But yeah, excited, 5 out of 5. Heard it's really good. It's a bit damaged, but it was the last one at the Barnes & Noble I got it from. And I just kept seeing it on the tables there, so I had to pick it up. Next up is another infamous book, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. My girlfriend read her other book, The Great Alone, and said it was absolutely amazing. So we're going to read this one together because we've only heard good things about it. It's supposed to be a 5-6-star read for everyone who reads it. And it is about, or is set in World War II in France, that the Germans are fighting and trying to take over. It follows 2 sisters over years, separated by years, and follows the challenges and everything in between. And so it's like a history, sad kind of book, I guess. Emotional book. Apparently plenty of people post themselves reading the end and crying to it, and I will not be doing that. And now it says, soon to be a major motion picture. So I looked that up, and they plan to release a movie in 2027 about this thick book, so it better be 8 hours long, or everyone's going to be wearing shirts that said the book was better. Just like at Universal Studios, everyone at the Harry Potter land. Excited, 4.5 out of 5. Would be more excited if it was a, I don't know, more action. But apparently it has a lot of action, actually, now that I think about it. So we'll say 5 out of 5 now. That is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Lastly, this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I don't know. Oh, it's set in France in 1714. Another fantasy book. I know a little bit more about this one. Some people said it's slow. Same thing happens over and over again. But it's about Addie LaRue, who is cursed. I don't know if something happens to her, how it comes about. But no one can remember her. No one can remember her twice. Every time she meets someone, meeting them for the first time for them, and she remembers them. And then she walks into a bookstore, and this other guy remembers her. And this follows along their journey. So I don't know, it sounds like a romance fantasy type of book. So it sounds pretty good. My girlfriend wants me to read romance for some reason. So this will be my take on it. Excited level, as usual, 4.5 out of 5. I've heard it can be slow, repetitive, but overall it is a great story. And it's 400 pages, so it'll be getting back into them good length books where you can get a lot of detail, but not too much detail. And that is it for my November TBR. Hopefully I read a little more than these 7 books. Also, 2 of them are longer, so it's a good amount. And then I will be reviewing them at the end of November. So watch that. Like and subscribe. Anyways, leave recommendations, especially fall, November, December books too. Give me your recommendations in the comments, please. I don't want just my girlfriend in the comments. Girlfriend.